Ladies and loyal men, Andy here, author of the best Tinder guide on the internet, and guy so loyal he invented the loyalty reward programs that credit card companies use. This is the Kill You in a Loser show. Let's fucking go. Everything we're going to talk about today is going to be for relationships, as in more serious relationships, but this stuff absolutely applies to casual relationships as well. So I want to make that clear right off the bat. We're going to talk about loyalty. We're going to talk about how you can build loyalty, as in how you can have a girl be loyal to you, how you can be loyal back to her, how you can increase your retention, and more than anything, why respect is the most important thing in a relationship. And no, I haven't gone all fucking feminist on you. I'm not talking about you have to respect women, but I'm going to talk about how building respect, earning respect, which is what respect is. It has to be earned, not just freely given out. You don't just respect people by default. How building respect and earning respect is the cheat code for a happy relationship or for a killer, amazing relationship, which right off the bat, I'll say is what we're going for here, right? You don't tune into this channel to just have an okay relationship, a mediocre relationship, a decent relationship. No, you want something fucking elite. That's what we're all here for. So respect and loyalty are the cheat codes for that. So I'll say right off the bat, this idea of respect is something that I've known for a while, but I want to give credit where credit's due. I think I put a lot of focus on building respect in a relationship because of an article that I read by Mark Manson. If you guys haven't read Mark Manson, he's got some great shit. And he did this article where he interviewed 1,500 happily married couples, or he sent this mass email out to all of his listeners and readers, and he has like tens of thousands of them. And he said, please only reply if you've been in a relationship for, I think it was, you had to be more than 20 years and you're happy and you're committed. And then please reply back under those conditions and tell me, like, what do you think has worked for you? Why do you think you're happy? Why do you think you've been together for 20 years and everything is great? Like, can you give the rest of us some cheat codes for this shit? And 1,500 of them roughly replied back. He wrote an article about it. I'll leave a link in the description below. And the thing that came up time and time again was respect. They all kept saying respect. Sometimes they would use a slightly different word for it, but they were all talking about respect. And they said that was the key, the key structure of their relationship, the key reason, the cheat code for why they had been together. I asked my parents the same sort of thing. Why are you and dad together? And they didn't say respect, but they said basically the same thing. So without the word respect, but they basically said, I look up to and I can admire your father. And, my dad said the same thing about my mother. So admiration, respect, but respect seems to be the cheat code for happy relationships, for long-term successful relationships. And so I would also add in there that growth mindset, like having a self-improvement mindset, like understanding the concept of tomorrow I want to be a better person than I am today. I think that's absolutely freaking mandatory. But growth mindset is really just like another way of saying, or it's a cheat code to get to respect. If you have a growth mindset, if you're sitting there and saying, I'm going to work on myself every day, and you do that, and you achieve goals, and you make yourself a better person, what does the other person think about you? They think, fuck, I respect this. This person's cool. I respect them. I look up to them. I admire them even. Same with them. If they have a growth mindset, if they have a self-improvement mindset, you are going to end up respecting them. The reason you guys listen to my shit is because you respect me. Now ask yourself, why do I respect Andy? And you'll say, well, because he has proof that he's actually achieved things. Because he's done some cool shit that I want to do. That's it. You respect me because I have a self-improvement mindset and I have taken steps to achieve things. And so self-improvement mindset, growth mindset, is a cheat code to having the other person respect you because you can respect yourself. And any relationship you get into, you want to make sure that she has a growth mindset as well. Or for women, you want to make sure that your dude has a growth mindset and understands the concept that they want to be a little bit better tomorrow than they were today. Maybe another way you can phrase that is they have to have goals. They have to have like a mission or something they want to achieve, or even just like little goals. It doesn't even have to be this like overarching sense of purpose and like, I know who I am and what I want to achieve. They just have to be, into the idea of tomorrow I want to be a better person than I am today. I want to be a little more empathetic. I want to be more kind. I want to lose weight. I want to have a little more money. I want to work on myself as a human being. I want to read a bunch of self-help books and implement them. Don't just read them, but implement them. Having this idea in your head, firmly in your head of like, I want to be better tomorrow, that's a fucking cheat code to a relationship. I've said this so many times. Your partner has to have goals and things they want to achieve. Otherwise, what happens? You leave them behind. You end up not able to respect them because you're on this fucking mission. You're on this goal to be a better person every day, and the other person isn't. I can't tell you guys how many friends I've had or, clients I've worked with where they say, I dated this girl or I dated this guy and we just, at the start it was great. We loved each other. We had so much like mutual respect for each other and all of this stuff. But like I was working on my goals and I had ambitions and I was doing all of this and I wanted to travel and I wanted to see the world and all of this. But they just kind of stayed the same. And over the next 2 or 3 or 4 years, we drifted apart and I couldn't quite tell why. And I'm like, well, because you had a growth mindset and they didn't. And the person thinks about it for a second and they're like, oh my God, yeah, you're right. No. Yeah, I wanted to achieve things. I wanted to be better. I've never thought of it like that. But yeah, I had stuff I was working on and stuff I was working towards. And I had goals and plans for the future. Plans for the future, by the way. Plans are just another way of saying goals. But I had plans for the future and I wanted us to do things and they just didn't really seem that interested. It's like, yeah, they didn't have a growth mindset. You did. They weren't into self-improvement. You were. They didn't really want to get better every day. You did. And so you end up leaving, as this happened with these friends and clients that I've worked with, they end up leaving their partner behind. And sometimes it's the opposite. Sometimes the person is coming to me because they were the person that didn't have a self-improvement mindset. And they're like, holy shit, like my partner just like went miles ahead of me and I started getting jealous and they lost respect for me and I just got more depressed the further along they got with their own goals and I kind of let myself get complacent and now here I am. I realize I need to improve myself. So having this growth mindset or this self-improvement mindset is fucking mandatory for any relationship. I mean, any friendship as well. It's hard to respect your friends. You can have a casual friendship. You can have a casual like friends with benefits, but it's hard to really build anything more than that if you don't respect the other person. Like you can't. And they will be a weight around your feet or around your fucking neck. They will pull you down. If you have goals and ambitions and shit you want to work on and a person you want to become, if they don't have those things or they don't have their own, they're just going to pull you down. They're going to get jealous of how far you go. You're going to climb up here and they're just going to want to like pull you back down because it's hard to watch someone crush it when you know you're not crushing it and you're doing nothing to change that. It's hard. It's a crab bucket mentality, which if you don't know what that means, it's if you put a bunch of crabs in a bucket, one of them will start trying to climb out and the others will just like grab them and pull them back down. I don't think they actually mean to do that. I'm not sure. I think they just kind of accidentally grab each other. But the point is like, that's what will happen here. Your partner won't mean to drag you down, but they'll just drag you down because they feel fucking insecure. And I did this video on my YouTube channel called Make Your Girl Someone You Can Respect. So go and watch that if you haven't already. But in that, I talked even more about what I'm talking about here, like having a growth mindset, making sure she does, never committing to someone that doesn't. You can still date casually. You can sleep with each other casually, but don't upgrade it to a relationship. Don't decide to go all in with the person if they don't have a self-improvement mindset. If they're just happy to just chill and exist and that's it, if they're kind of complacent, don't build something with them. You can build some fun memories and some sexual experiences, but don't build a life with that person or don't combine your life with theirs. Like, fuck no. That's a recipe for disappointment. You will be hamstringing and like handicapping yourself with your own self-improvement. So self-improvement mindset, growth mindset, respect, like earning respect, that's like absolutely mandatory for a relationship. It really is. Like respect is the most important ingredient. It's something you build through self-improvement or by working on your goals and achieving things. And working on, goals with that person, working on goals by yourself. But it's really just you going through challenges and overcoming hurdles and making something more of yourself, going through some struggles and some hardships, and then making it out the other side. And what happens then when you go through some hurdles, when you face difficulties, when you make yourself uncomfortable, when you say, I'm scared to do this thing, so I want to do it anyway, because I want to become a better person. I want to become the person who is not scared to do things. By doing that, by going through that, your partner watches you and goes, wow, holy shit. Like, I've watched you go through some tough shit. You never quit. God damn it, I respect that. I respect you. Respect is a way of you saying, I know I can trust you. I can trust that you will make it through tough times. I can trust that you won't quit. I can trust that you won't be a victim, that you won't be helpless, that you won't let life get you down, that you won't say, oh, it's too hard, oh, I can't do this, oh, I'm a victim, oh, it's not my fault, oh, these other people are holding me down, I can't quit my job, I need the job to pay money, I hate my job, but I can't quit because, oh, I can't get a better job. Like, you won't do that. You will face your own problems, you will find solutions. And so respect is earned by facing hardships, by, working on challenges, by improving yourself, by self-improvement, all of this stuff. Respect is basically trust. You got to think of like respect and trust as the exact same thing. Trusting that the other person is reliable and not a quitter. Because then you can trust that they will have your back. You will trust that in a difficult circumstance, like, yeah, this person's going to be like, they're going to rise to the challenge because they've shown me that by working on their goals, by achieving things. And this is what we're trying to build here. We are trying to build her being able to trust you and vice versa, you being able to trust her. And this is why I say it's mandatory that if you're going to build something, like build a relationship with someone, she has to have her own goals. She has to have a self-improvement mindset. She has to achieve things. And so you're basically showing yourself, or you're getting her to show you, by her achieving things, that she's not a quitter. She's proved that by doing difficult things. She's proved that by improving herself. You can trust that she won't just walk away from the relationship for arbitrary, like lame reasons. She has proven to you, by working on goals and improving herself and going through hardships, she has proven to you that when the going gets tough, she won't fucking quit. And so what does that mean? That means, holy shit, loyalty. So respect is a way of saying, I'll lay out the flowchart for you. It starts with self-improvement and a growth mindset. Then you work on goals and achieve some. What that does is that makes you respect the other person, or they respect you. And then that respect is trust. Oh, I can trust that they won't just quit. That's loyalty. So that's a nice little fucking flowchart. That is why I say self-improvement mindset and growth mindset is the most important part of a relationship, because it leads to trust and loyalty. You trust that the person won't just fucking quit, or that they won't bitch out on the relationship because one day it got a little bit hard. You trust that they are someone that can overcome adversity, and then anytime there's a problem in the relationship, they will look for a solution. That leads to loyalty, because you go, fuck it, I'm going to commit to you because you're someone that will commit to me. You've shown me that. Fuck, let's keep, that's a self-reinforcing cycle. We will keep building and trusting, and all of this will grow over time. That all starts with self-improvement mindset. This is why I say growth mindset, self-improvement mindset, having goals, making sure she does too. This is the most important foundation for a relationship. It really fucking is. Respect is a way of saying loyalty. Self-improvement mindset is a way of saying loyalty and trust. Again, I asked my parents years ago, why are you two still together? And my mother really fucking respects my father. And that's probably the reason. That's what she basically said. I admire your father is what she said. My dad said, yeah, your mother proved her loyalty to me. That's why I'm with her. How? Because she overcame a shitload of adversity. They've told me all sorts of shit that they have gone through. Maybe I won't say all of it here, but they've both gone through a lot of hell, especially in their early days, especially when they were young. They met when my mum was 19, I think. And they went through a lot of hell together. A lot of it. And so they used those challenges that they overcame as they didn't even use it. It's just overcoming those challenges it reinforces the structure of your relationship because you trust each other. You're yeah, this person is someone that can handle their shit. That is why I say make sure you find a girl who's into self-improvement if you're going to have a relationship. Again, you can just have a casual relationship. You can just sleep with each other and have some fun. But if you're going to upgrade it to a serious relationship, make sure you can trust that she won't just fall apart at the first fucking challenge. And that doesn't mean that she won't have periods where she, does fall apart a little bit. Fine, that happens sometimes. We all go through that. But that she won't completely fall apart is what I'm getting at. That she won't have a moment where she's oh, this relationship is too hard. I quit. No. You're basically trying to, but by looking for someone who has a self-improvement mindset or who has goals that they want to work on, and you can push her with those goals. But by finding someone who has goals that they want to work on, you are basically dating someone who's not a quitter. That's what we're going for. We're trying to pick the winners. The easiest way to pick the winner, that's what you're trying to do, right? You're trying to pick a winner to build a relationship with, to have some memories with and make a life and all of that kind of shit, or bring your lives together. You're trying to pick a winner. So don't pick a quitter. The first rule of like picking a winner is don't pick the person that fucking quits. So the best way to screen for that is to find the person that's either achieved a bunch of goals or is actively working on them and you can see them making progress, or is like ready to start working on them. Like Imogen was when I met her. She hadn't achieved a whole lot, a little bit. She achieved a little bit. But in the first like 2 weeks of us sleeping together, we weren't even serious. We didn't get serious until about 9 months into the relationship. But in the first couple of weeks, she said like, oh, I want to lose weight. And I was like, okay, go do this. And then she comes back and says, okay, I've already done that. I've lost 0.5 kilogram in the first week. Like, what should I do next? And I was like, oh, fuck. Okay, she's serious. Fuck. All right, go do this next. And she would come back. Literally, I would just say one sentence, go do this. And she'd come back a week later and be like, all right, I did that. What next? And I'd be like, whoa, holy fuck. Okay. Shit. Okay, do this next. And so she proved very quickly, very early on, that she did have a self-improvement, like growth mindset. So sometimes you might push the person a little bit. You might need to give them a little poke and prod and say, hey, you know you're allowed to improve yourself. You know that you're allowed to have anything you want. You just have to work towards it. Sometimes you got to give them a self-help book or a YouTube video or give them some of my content. One of the girls that we're sleeping with right now, she found my website and she read my transformation article. She watched some of my videos and shit like that. Maybe she watches this. Probably not. She's busy. But, she read some of my content and she was like, holy shit, like, I'm inspired. And I was like, yeah, you can do that too. And she was like, really? And I was like, yeah, why wouldn't you be able to lose weight or, build a better butt in the gym or earn more money or quit your job? These are all goals that she wanted. And I was like, why wouldn't you be able to do them? And she's like, I don't know. I guess I just never thought about it. And I was like, well, go fucking start then. Go to the gym. She's already been to the gym. She's got a PT. She's been going to the gym for like 3 weeks now. She lost a bit of weight. She started making more money. Like, all of this kind of shit is absolutely doable, but sometimes you just have to push them a little bit. But the point is, when you find someone that maybe with some pushing, maybe without, has a self-improvement mindset and a growth mindset, yeah, start thinking like, fuck, all right, why don't we see where this goes? And don't commit too early. I talk about this. Don't make it a serious relationship till you've been seeing each other for at least 6 months. But you can still be slowly building over that time. You can be pushing her with her goals. She can push you with yours. You're still building. I'm just saying don't call it a serious relationship. Don't go all in until it's been at least 6 months. A year is better, but 6 months, fine. But the point is, find that person who has that self-improvement mindset or needs a little bit of a push and then shows you, yep, I'm going to respond well to that. I will, I have a self-improvement mindset. I've just never been given permission to do it before. So find that person. Another quick side tangent that I'm going to go off in here for a second. I did this article ages ago called, it was something like don't neg girls or why negging is stupid. And if you don't know what negging is, it's basically where you insult a girl. You give her a little backhanded compliment, but it's really passive aggressive and it's a bit of an insult, but you're getting her to sort of, it's almost like you're gaslighting her and getting her to doubt her own attractiveness or doubt if you're actually interested in her. And the idea is that you bring her down a peg so she'll think you're cool or some shit. Or so she'll be like, oh, wow, this guy negged me. Maybe I should sleep with some bullshit like that. And the point of this article was negging is the stupidest concept of all time. It's just absolutely ridiculous because what it results in is if you stop and think about it, think about what your subconscious is doing. If you insult a girl, which is what you're doing when you neg, it's a gentle insult, but it's still an insult. It's not a nice thing to say to someone. A neg is not a nice thing to say to another human being. When you gently insult someone or neg them, you're basically telling your subconscious, this person is below me. This person is beneath me. And now if she sticks around, which a lot of girls won't, a lot of girls just think you're weird when you neg them. They're like, oh, okay, that was kind of weird. And then you neg them again and they're like, oh, that doesn't feel very good. I'm going to go. They won't say to you hey, don't neg me, fuckhead, you're a piece of shit. No, they'll just feel weird and not text you again. They'll feel weird and see you once and then you neg them again and they go, well, I don't like this. This what's going on? And they'll leave because they don't understand why you just insulted them in a passive aggressive, gentle laughing way. They don't understand. And by the way, a neg is not banter. I want to make that clear. Sometimes people joke and tease a little bit. That's fine. But a neg is something more than that. It's an active insult. And the girls that stick around, what they're saying is my self-esteem is low enough or I don't have the ability to stand up for myself or I haven't worked on my assertiveness enough where I can call you out on this, or I don't have any other options, and so I'll stick around with the guy that would insult me. what you're showing yourself is like, oh, the girls that I have sex with or the girls that I keep in my life don't have very good self-esteem, will put up with my bullshit and put up with my insults, which what does that tell you about someone? Do you respect someone who puts up with an insult? No. Why would you? And so you can tell yourself, oh, but I don't care, bro. I still had sex with her. I still conquested her. Like, I conquered her. Like, what do I care? Like, but what you're telling yourself is that you stick your penis in people you don't respect. You put your penis, you have sex with people you don't respect. What does that say about you? What does that say about your respect for yourself, your respect for your dick, for your manhood? Is your manhood not respectable enough that you would choose who you put it in? Would you not choose who you give it to? Is it not something like a gift to be given to certain people? Or do you just like throw your dick out there and my dick, anyone can have my dick, I don't give a fuck. I'm just going to stick my dick in whoever. Do you not have enough options that you get to choose who you stick your penis in? You just put it in people you don't respect. Again, what you're telling yourself is that you don't have abundance. You have a sort of scarcity mindset of like, fuck, I just got to get laid as many, however I can. I don't have enough options that I would only have sex with the girls that I respect or think are cool. I don't have any sort of standards. I'll sleep with a girl with low self-esteem or a girl who can't stand up for herself or a girl who would put up with my bullshit and my insults. And so, yeah, I know I've gone on a bit of a side tangent here, but this is why I talk about respect. Respecting your fucking self and respecting the other person. So, little side tangent there. I don't like negs if you can't tell, because they're just weird. They're just unnecessary, and you actually end up sleeping with less girls when you neg them, because half of them leave. They're like, you're being weird. Why am I sticking around? And the ones that stick around, again, you can't respect them, and that says a lot about you. You're telling yourself, I don't respect myself. I have sex with people I don't respect. Can't I have sex with people I do respect? Wouldn't that be nicer? It's like spending your time with people you respect. Doesn't that make you feel better? You don't spend your time with people you don't have any respect for. That doesn't say much about you, so don't neg. Again, everything I've talked about here, with building respect and all of that, it applies a little less to like really casual relationships, but I would still make sure that there's still some sort of like just a little slight level of respect with the girls that you sleep with, even if it's just ultra casual. Like, I did the whole sleep with whoever you want, don't have any standards, sleep with girls that I don't have a shred of respect for. I did that for years, and it was miserable. It felt like, again, like I said with the negging thing, it felt like I didn't respect myself. It really did. Like, I wasn't respecting my own time. I was just having sex with girls that I didn't really have any respect for, and I was like, well, who the fuck else am I going to have sex with? And as soon as I got a little bit of abundance, I worked on myself, I improved myself, I upgraded my fucking standards. It was probably that more than anything, and improved myself a little bit. And when I started sleeping with girls that I actually respected, it was like, oh shit, like this is way better. It's like before that, I didn't have any quality control. And so many of you guys say this statement, right? You'll hit me up for coaching, or you'll just write a YouTube comment or whatever, and you'll say, I want to start dating more quality girls. You always use the term quality. A lot of you use the term quality. And then when I ask you guys, what do you mean by quality? You'll say the first bit, you'll say, oh, like more attractive. And then I'll say, okay, what else is quality? And you'll say, like a woman that's like going places, or she's cool, or she's interesting, or she has nice hobbies, or she's just like a more classy woman, like she's more feminine, or she's a little more ambitious, or, she has her own life going on. Boom. That is another way of saying respect. Because I'll say like, okay, and how would you feel about that woman? And they say, I'd kind of look up, I'd kind of like admire her. I think she's cool. And I'm like, would you respect her? And they go, yeah, of course I'd respect. Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. And so, yes, attractiveness ties into quality. But most of the time when you guys say, I want a quality woman, or I want to start dating women who are more quality. I've had quantity, now I want quality. It always comes back to, I want a woman that I could at least respect a little bit. Like a woman that's, maybe you don't phrase it as respect, but you're saying a woman that I really like, or the woman that's like a decent person, or she's cool, or she's got some goals. She's got her own life going on. She's ambitious, so it inspires me. That's you saying you would respect, or that's how she would earn your respect. It always comes back to respect, guys. It always comes back to having that self-improvement mindset, making sure your partner does as well, because that builds respect. Like I said, self-improvement mindset, you start achieving goals, you start earning respect, that leads to trust. The other person can trust that you're going to, achieve things and not ditch the relationship, which leads to loyalty. So self-improvement mindset leads to loyalty and trust. So, I'll start wrapping up. I don't think there's anything else I want to say on this topic. I'm having fun with these relationship podcasts, if I'm honest. Like, these are really fun. I'm going to do a bunch more. I've got probably like 6 more that I want to bang out. If you haven't been on my Spotify, on my podcast, go on Spotify or Google Podcasts or Apple Podcasts, whatever podcast platform you use. I've done a ton more podcasts about relationships. I did some fucking killer ones earlier today. I've already recorded them. They're already going to be up by the time you listen to this. They were fucking killer ones. I did one on how you want to not look too far ahead in the relationship. Like, don't look at the mountain. The video that I did on this YouTube channel recently, it was the same sort of concept. It was like, don't look at the mountain and how far you have to go in the like, don't look too far in the future of the relationship. Take it one day at a time. Have some humility. Just focus on like, what can I do to make the relationship the best relationship of all time right now? Like, today, what can I do? People will often look too far in the future and say, oh, I want to build this relationship. I want to get to that point. It's like, the way you get to that point is today. You start today. So, I won't spoil too much of that podcast, but go listen to that. That was fucking amazing, if I do say so myself. And if you are keen on building like an amazing relationship, my relationship with Imi is pretty fucking amazing. I'll be honest. Like, things are pretty fucking good. We have a ridiculous amount of loyalty for each other, a ridiculously huge amount of respect. And that really has come from just what I'm talking about with you guys. Like, sitting there and saying, how do I make myself a better person today? And then her doing the same thing. And just working on ourselves every single day. I have such a deep level of admiration. I literally admire her. And she says the same thing back to me. I admire her, respect the shit out of her for the crazy number of goals that she's achieved, for the crazy number of like impossibly difficult things that she's done. I mean, God, I could sit there and list out 50 million of them, like overcoming her binge eating, losing like 15 kilograms of weight, even though it was hard for her, opening up to me and being in a relationship. I've talked about in different podcasts how hard that was for her with her parents' divorce and never being in a relationship before and all of that. Probably the wildest thing she ever did when she was like 18 was she was at university and she had to be there for another 3 years to finish her degree. And then to get a job in the industry that she wanted, you have to go and do like a 1-year internship. And then maybe you get a job, or you usually get a job. So 4 years of shit she would have to do 4 years ahead of her to get the job. And I said to her, why don't you just ditch the university degree? Go and make a portfolio, like go and do the kind of work that you want to be doing, like do it on your own. Talk about how you've done it, take pictures, like do a little portfolio or something showing that you can actually do the job that you want to be doing. Put that in a beautiful package and then go and just apply to a bunch of jobs. Go and show them the package. Take some, cupcakes and muffins and coffee and ask to talk to the boss and just have a meeting and say, here's what I can do. Can you give me a job? Or can you give me a fucking internship and then give me a job? She was so utterly terrified to do this because she's like, no, you have to go through 4 years of training before you can have this job. And I was like, no, you fucking don't. You could have this right now. And so she spent like 3 months just like busting her fucking ass, like doing these projects, failing a ton, learning, like all of this kind of stuff. She was terrified. She's like, this won't work. I'm wasting my time. But I was like, no, you can do this. Just do this. She went through all that fear, all that uncertainty. She did this amazing fucking portfolio. It was like a 50-page portfolio with pictures and graphics. She spent so much time on it, probably too much time. It was probably too perfect, but it was amazing. She printed it out on glossy paper. She had like a digital copy as well. And, she went and bought some muffins and little cupcakes and nice thing and coffee and shit like that. And she did a bunch of research of which firms she could apply to. She went there. She called me before the first one. She's like in the car and she's like crying and freaking out. She's like, I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. Like, I've been building up to this for like 4 months and like, I can't do this. Like, I'm 18 years old. Like, I'm a stupid little fucking girl. Like, I don't know anything. These people, like, they work in the industry. How can I go in? And I was like, you can do this. Just trust me. Even if you do a bad job, you can do this. She walks into the first place. She gives them the muffins, the coffee. She shows them the thing. They love her, as I'm sure you can imagine. Like, if you're sitting in a workplace and someone comes in off the street with a fucking bunch of muffins and cupcakes and coffees and shit for you, aren't you just going to be like, yo, I love this person? And then they have this beautiful portfolio and they're like, yo, I want a job. I'm so passionate. I want to work for you for free. Can I intern for you for free? I'll be a slave. I'll do whatever you want. I just want to fucking, I'm passionate. I want this. Are you going to love that person? So they loved her, but they said like, I'm so sorry. Like, we would give anything to hire you, but we're a small firm and like, we just hired someone like a couple of months ago. Like, but we're going to keep your number and like, fuck, the second something comes up, you're getting the job. Like, you can work here. And so she was like, okay. So she goes away. She does more research. She goes to the second place like a couple of days later. Same exact thing, goes through all the process. She's like crying, calls me in the car again, really struggles. She goes in, gives them all the stuff, shows them, and they say, you know what, come in on Monday. Literally like the fairy tale fucking story of like, you saved yourself 4 years of university and internship and shit. Just come in on Monday. And so she ends up coming in. They had her in. I think she was just doing 1 day a week for a couple of weeks, and then they're like, "Fuck it, you're doing good work. You can do 2 or 3 days." She's working for free at this point. She does this after like 3 months. They say to her, "You know what? Like, you're doing such a good job. We're just going to put you on the payroll. We're going to pay you $27 an hour, Australian dollars. So that's like $20 an hour. So fucking good money when you don't like. Come on, that's good money when you weren't supposed to have that job." You walked in off the fucking street. You're supposed to go to university and build all this debt for 3 years and then do an internship. You just walked in off the fucking street and said like, yo, I'll work for you for free. I'll do whatever you want. Here's some fucking cupcakes. Here's what I can do. And she ends up getting a fucking job. She loved that place so much. So it was like a product design firm, and she's actually kept some of, maybe I'll get her to show, they're not at my place, they're at her place. I'll get her to bring some of the products that they actually designed. They designed some like cool shit, like actual physical, tangible products that she helped design, and the firm helped design the shit. So I'll get her to, brag about or boast or talk about some of them. But the point is, come on, if you guys were dating an 18-year-old girl who did all of that, and you watched her cry and see all of her insecurities and like, I can't do this, like I'm too fucking terrified to do this, like, and you see her showing more confidence than a 25-year-old, 30-year-old male. Like, go find me a fucking 30-year-old male who will walk into an industry with zero experience when he's supposed to go to a university degree for 3 years and then get an internship, and has the balls to walk into places and go, yo, you don't know me, I don't know jack shit about this, like, but I want this fucking job, I'll work for you for free, will you let me? Here's some cupcakes. Find me a fucking 30-year-old male who has that many balls. Like, no. And so watching a girl go through that, on top of that, she's done crazy shit. Like, when she was 18 and she was really fucking nervous to talk to strangers and she literally couldn't make eye contact with strangers and stuff. I said to her, as a challenge, why don't you go up to 15 strangers and start a conversation with them? And let's say you have to talk to each one for 15 minutes. And she was like, I can't fucking do that. And I was like, yeah, you can do that. And she did it. It was the most terrifying thing of her entire... She basically, like, cold approached, as we call it, strangers, men, women, old ladies, young guys, old guys, like just random people, and just started 15-minute conversations with them when she could barely talk, and she said she was so nervous, she was shaking, she thought she would throw up, and she did that. When you see your partner do this kind of shit, and you realize how fucking hard it is for them, and how intensely terrifying it is for them, and you watch them do that, my God, the fucking respect it builds in you. The fucking trust you have in them. Again, I know, and she's since shown me many times, I knew in those moments after those achievements, okay, anytime we go through a struggle in the relationship, she's not going to fucking quit. She might want to quit. She might be like, oh my God, this is hard, this hurts, this sucks, like, but she won't quit. I know she won't. Look at all the shit she was supposed to quit and she didn't. And so then I have loyalty. Then I go, you know what? Well, I'm not going to fucking quit. If this bitch is going to be this crazy, like, loyal and earn my respect, I'm not going to fucking walk away. Yeah, let's build something. We built this relationship on trust and integrity and respect and loyalty because of the goals that she achieved, because of her self-improvement mindset, because of my self-improvement mindset, because she watched all of this with me too. I'll make that clear. Like, I achieved a hell of a lot. When I met her, I didn't have a website, guys. Like every single article I have written since, the 130,000 word Tinder guide, all of the coaching that I have built up, the $50,000 month that we just had last month, my YouTube channel, my Spotify podcast, my forums, all of this didn't exist when I met her. I didn't have any of that. She watched me build all of that. She saw how fucking terrifying it was for me to write my first article. She saw how terrified I was to start the podcast. I was fucking terrified. How terrified I was to like look into the fucking camera, which by the way is very intimidating. Anyone who's never done content, like staring straight into that is really fucking intimidating. It is. Even now, it's still weird. It's like it's staring at you. Because normally when you talk to someone, they look away, and I look away when I'm talking. I look down here at my notes. I look over there. I'll look out there to think. But the camera just stares at you. It's like a weird fucking like robot that just doesn't look away. And you're like, yo, just stop looking at me for half a second. Like, you're creeping me out. Oi, are you still looking? Oh, you are, you creepy fuck. Stop it. But the point is, I was really terrified to do all this shit. And she's seen me go through all of that. And she's gone, fuck, if Andy didn't quit in all of this, he's not going to quit on me. Like, holy shit, yeah, let's build something. So all of this is a long way of saying I'm really fucking happy. And I want you guys to be this happy too. I really, 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 it's really, really, really my mission for you guys to build a relationship like this and for you to be this happy and find a woman who will be this loyal and committed to you. And obviously that's something you build. You don't right off the bat, find a woman who's like loyal to you. No, like you earn that. You earn respect. Respect and loyalty and trust are earned. But it's about screening for that woman who has that little bit of magic, that self-improvement mindset where she's like, yeah, maybe I have achieved some goals, maybe I haven't, doesn't matter, but I want to. And then she shows you, like she achieves a couple, and then you start building something. And for you women, same thing. Find a guy who's ambitious and has proof that he's at least starting to work on goals. And then you stick around for a while and say, okay, let's see where this goes. Let's see if this guy is, going to fulfill his promises. Let's see if he is going to achieve his goals. And you stick around, you build something, and it's fucking amazing. I want all of you to have that. I really genuinely think that you all fucking deserve this because it's really fucking nice. It's really fucking nice to have someone who's your cheerleader that you can trust, that will push you. I've said in previous videos, the point of a relationship is that you come together and you're stronger together. Like they push you, you push them. You're literally both better off because you're together. And I want all of you to have that. I really genuinely feel passionately about this. And it's kind of, I see it as a personal challenge. Some of you that are like, I want an amazing relationship, but I have no idea how to do that. And I've been working with a few one-on-one clients with this shit, and it's been so fucking rewarding being able to sit them down and have these kind of conversations like I'm having with you guys, but like with them personally, and being able to say, okay, what kind of woman do you want? Let's break that down. What kind of relationship do you want? Let's break that down and figure out, like, how do we actually achieve that? Step by step, what do we have to do from here? You don't even have a woman right now. How do we start finding you one? I've even been doing this with some of my clients who are virgins. I'm like, yo, what kind of relationship do you want? They're like, man, I just want to get laid. And I'm like, no, but start thinking about what kind of woman you want. And they go, gee, okay. I guess I've never thought of that. And they start telling me all this shit that they want. And I'm like, fuck, man, write that down. And let's start breaking down point by point. How do we find that kind of woman or build that kind of woman or build the qualities in you as a man that would attract that kind of woman? Because that's most of what this is. We're working on ourselves. So I really feel passionately about this. If you're sitting there thinking like, God, I really want an amazing, like everything you're talking about with trust and loyalty and like the crazy shit Imogen's done. And by the way, that's like 1% of the crazy shit she's achieved. But if you're sitting there going, I really want that, please let me fucking help you. Please, right now, link in the description below, click the fucking link for the coaching. Please hit me up. Hit me up. Like so many of you have so much fucking money and then you go, oh, but now's not the right time. I could afford coaching, but like, I just don't know if I'm ready. It's like, just please fucking sign up. The last guy that signed up literally wrote in the group a couple of weeks ago. He goes, I was sitting there thinking like, now's not the right time for coaching. And I'm so fucking glad that I signed up, even though now isn't the right time for coaching, because look at all the shit I've done. Look at how much we've achieved already. I say we, most of my coaching clients do 99% of the work. I'm just pushing you. You guys are actually doing the shit. But yeah, please don't fucking sit there and go, oh, now's not the right time. If you're going to build an amazing relationship or become the kind of man who earns this kind of relationship, start now. It starts with some improvement. Don't sit there and say, oh, but I haven't even gotten laid as much as I want yet, so I'm not ready for a relationship. Fuck that. You got to be proactive and start this process now. Start becoming that guy. Start drilling into your brain concepts of respect, of loyalty, of trust, of self-improvement. I've just laid out how that's actually built. Start drilling that into your head. Please hit me up for coaching. I really, really, really want to fucking push you guys with this. And don't sit there and say, oh, now's not the right time. It's too early. I'm not ready for a relationship. Start that shit right now. Even if you don't sign up for coaching, start that shit right now. But for fuck's sakes, I'm right here. Let me help you.